Welcome, guys, to the first episode in this nice, fancy studio with a really killer view of R&B, standing for Richard, myself, Richard Santora, and our guest, Bob, Devin Jones, owner of Studio 620 here in St. Pete. All right, Bob.
Yes.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Look at this nice pad we got, man. Isn't this nice?
We're being sponsored by Smith and Associates.
We are, Mr. Bob Glasser himself.
Yes.
We are very fortunate. Very fortunate.
We look like the fortunate ones.
You more than me.
No, I follow your lead, sir.
Understood. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Okay, I got 3 of them.
Okay.
All right. First question. What was your most favorite vacation you've ever taken?
Well, we didn't take vacations as children, so I wouldn't do that. And then most of my traveling for the first 30 some odd years was always connected to work. But I would say of that work vacation was when I was in Greece for 7 weeks on the Isle of Santorini with one of my dear friends, Richard Rhodes, and I was directing him in a one-man show of the war music, an adaptation of the Iliad by an English playwright.
All right.
So that would rank as my favorite.
Greece?
Greece. It's
Wow,
Santorini.
7 weeks.
7 weeks.
That's a long time.
Yes.
All right. What was the best thing you did while in Greece? The thing you remember the most?
Well, normally we would rehearse down in the villa somewhere, but one day we took a hike up this mountain, and it was an old ruin, and it was an amphitheater built in the side of the mountain, so that as you did the switchback up the hill, you'd approach the back of the theater, and then you'd come down, and you would be looking at these very steep seats carved into the mountain, and then the playing area was just this flattened area, and then the back of it was the drop-off to the Aegean Sea. And so that was memorable.
That's really cool. I'll have to look that up.
Yes, Santorini.
Santorini, Greece. All right. Second question.
Okay.
While we were in my gym the other day, before our training session, we were discussing a certain artist, right? A certain rap artist.
Oh, yes. Eminem.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask you, so the audience knows, right? Because this to me is absolutely hilarious. What is your favorite Eminem song?
I don't know it's not Guess Who's Back, is it?
No. I know the name, but I would like you to try
but nobody wants it. Dun, 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 dun. This must be the month for me because everybody has something for me.
That's it.
What's the name of the song?
This song's called Without Me.
Without Me.
Yep, by Eminem.
Yes, that's my favorite.
You told me you played it on repeat when it came out on the radio.
At least 1,000 times. At least. I love it. I still do, but I haven't heard it in years until you played it the other day.
So I was out for dinner. My mom's birthday was Sunday, right? She turned 61. And we were out eating at Il Ritorno, right? So it had me thinking, what is your favorite restaurant to go out to on like a date night? If you and Jamie were going out on a date night, where would you go?
We would probably go, we have 3.
Okay.
I really like Wild Child.
Okay.
I like Baba.
Bubba.
B-A-B-A. Baba.
Baba?
Baba.
Baba, not Bubba.
And Brick and Mortar. Okay. One day next week. Well, at Wild Child, it's just your basic, fantastic, let's go out Saturday night and get some really, like they do this roasted chicken under a brick.
Under a brick?
Yeah, so the chicken...
They put a brick on the chicken?
Yeah, so he's moist, crispy, and moist, well seasoned, terrific French fries.
That's what I'm getting for dinner now.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
So I love it. So I would, and then Bubba is Mediterranean, and so I usually get the hummus, the tzatziki,
Okay.
the baba ganoush, and tons of pita bread.
Nice. And then brick and mortar is just
Very good. And the proprietors there they're emblematic of what I love about St. Pete. Good food, good company, friendly.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are my 3 questions. Do you have any for me?
Yes.
Do you want to ask me some, or do you want to move on and we can talk about what's going on with the studio?
Well, you can ask me some questions about the studio because when we flip seats, I will then be able to put that hat on and
Okay. I dig it. Okay. So how about you tell me what's going on with the studio? What's going on for the rest of August and September and going into fall?
Well, I'll start at the end of August first. We have a gospel brunch in celebration of my birthday. And so it's going to be a gospel brunch with Sharon Scott and some really great musicians singing gospel music, cheese grits, catered mostly by Craft Cafe. But Bob is going to...
Big fan.
Big loyal fan.
Big loyal fan.
And, Bob, I saw him today, and he's going to have a setup for beverages, adult beverages, and it's shaping up to be very special, and it's going to be held at his event space.
Okay. And what time does that start?
Savant, August 29th from 11 to 2. So if you go to first service, they'd still make it there. And if you want to go to a later service, 2:30, 1 o'clock, you can do,
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So what you got big going on in fall, right? We're getting on to fall now. We started school, right? School started this week. So now we got fall coming up.
So the big thing in the fall is one of the big things. See, at the studio, we don't just do, as you well know, one thing. So one of the things we're bringing back this fall is the radio theater project with Foley soundscape, where you have sound effects. Okay. They call it a Foley orchestra, Matt Cowley. And we have some great scripts coming up there. We have a really terrific show opening and will be up for several weeks, called the Tampa Bay Green Book. And it's the artist of the Green Book. So,
what is the Green Book? I've never heard of it.
My parents were both born in Louisiana. My dad in Lake Providence, my mother in Shreveport.
I did not know that.
Yes, and when they came to California, they went around Texas. Because, that's
the good old boys out there.
Yeah, and that's where they told them months later, oh yeah, by the way, the Emancipation Proclamation, forgot to tell you all about that, Juneteenth. So the Green Book was a thing started, his name escapes me at the moment, to give Negro people, Black, African Americans as we're now called, a safe guide of where you could stay without hurt, harm, or danger.
Okay, so a safe haven, some little...
The best accommodations. Because, there is a recent history in this country, particularly in the South, but in other places too, where it would say on the premises, whites only. We only trade to white people, coloreds around to the back, or we don't trade to colored people at all.
I think you still have some of that Negrobilia, right?
Oh, I have loads of it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So that's a current show, and it's just, we have a beautiful documentary and some history in wall text about the Green Book and some facsimiles of actually Green Books. And it says, don't leave home without it, or something like that. You take this with you. You don't want to need one and not have one. That's right.
Okay, so that's the studio, right? So we covered all the studio's activities.
Not all, but that's just
the big ones.
Overview.
That's the big ones, right? So I got more questions for you, okay? So you've been training for how long now with me? How long you been training now? How long's it been? 8 months?
At least.
At least 8 months? Okay.
I can't leap tall buildings in a single bound and faster than a speeding bullet, but I'm not falling down.
You're not falling down, right? And you're able to get back up. So, what's your favorite part so far? What's been your favorite part with the training? Because it's something that's new for you. You've never.
No, I've existed on the planet, except perhaps in college, without spending any amount of time. So one of my favorite parts about the training is having somebody like you make me sweat, that I pay for it. So that's kind of nice. Also, I can see myself getting stronger because after the COVID, I hadn't, the muscles atrophy and you
The Second Amendments were dwindling, man. The armory was low.
But the armory is
We're restocking it.
restocking.
Oh, yeah.
So and it's actually, I don't anticipate like I'm gonna love, and it's not that strenuous, but I certainly love it once I get there, and I certainly appreciate the fact that.
So going on that subject, right? Going on that topic of I may not fall in love with fitness, right? But I can tolerate it and I enjoy it when I'm there. That is something that I'm trying to tap into because there's a lot of people that need fitness that are like you, right? They come from a background of, non-athletics. They never worked out. They were never fit growing up, right? They were more, staying inside and, arts or, whatever it is. But as they got older, right, and sedentary lifestyles take over, we get health problems, right? And those people are now forced to take fitness very seriously. But it's hard for them, right? My wife included. She's been one of those people that never played sports, never worked out, right? Until she met me. And then from there, I was able to make it so she at least enjoyed it enough that she could show up, have a good enough time while getting the benefits of getting fit, right? And then go home and be done, right? That's something that I'm trying to really work on, and you're allowing me to do that because you fit that same mold, right? So I got to ask, how have I done so far? Pretty good?
What?
Huh? Oh, ooh, easy, man. Hands up.
No,
Hands up.
You've done a very good job because, again, it is something that has not been a part of my life. But I'm not sedentary so much as I do quite a few activities,
Right.
but not like, I can see the efficacy of continuing this
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
as part of not a lifestyle choice, but just part of my life.
Well, it has to become a part of your life. It has to be a lifestyle,
Well, I'd rather just live and skip all the style.
But you've got so much of it.
Oh, yeah. I got style to brain.
Just overflowing.
Yes.
Okay, well, good. That makes me happy. And watching you getting strong enough to now upgrade to an hour session versus a 30-minute session, right?
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. Although maybe I'll change my time because even at the 30, I often need to just kind of relax after that for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll ease into it, right? And it'll be more of, 30 minutes of work and then 30 minutes of a little bit of mobility work, maybe a little cool down, stuff like that. So there'll be benefits to the 30 minutes and we'll slowly creep into that extra 30 minutes as we go.
And is that typical?
Yes. Yes, you have to be slow about it. It has to be a slow progression, right? Especially with someone like you who has the history of cancer, right? You've beat that, and then you beat COVID, right? So you are fragile. So
You think?
we have to move slow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah.